having had some modest relationship with a lot of the biotech and pharma world because of the work I did on antibiotics, the speed and the scale of cooperation that's going on in the pharmaceutical world on this is extraordinary, and it's an example to everybody, the rest of private sector, but also to governments here and around the world, of the art of the possible. And I listened to Pascal Sorier this morning on BBC News, and it adds to my belief that it is not impossible that a usable vaccine could be available for a significant part of the world by this September. I mean, obviously they've got to get through some important tests in coming weeks, but it sounds to me that it's quite possible, and it's a fantastic development. I've also had some modest involvement in some of these events going on to try and pursue or encourage international coordination. And apart from the extremely problematical challenge set by President Trump and essentially diminishing the role of the G20, there is also very significant discussions going on about exactly how you do ensure equitable distribution of vaccines around the world. And I think this is one of the better things that is going on about this crisis.
A very hopeful view. That's really encouraging. I mean, based on the work you've done, as you said, in antibiotics, clearly you know how costly and complex the process of drug and vaccine development is. When we look to the future and prepare for another event like this, how do you incentivize more development on these very costly endeavors? Again, where does that onus lie? On the big pharmaceutical companies, on the governments, philanthropic institutions? What's your take?
So I could spend all day talking to you about it, but let me say three things. First of all, in the spirit of never letting a crisis go to waste, what this crisis has done has completely destroyed what was a general belief before that health and finance are separate issues. And one of the challenges I had about the AMR review and why I was chosen to lead it was trying to persuade policymakers and finance people about the connection. And my goodness me, we now have that. So I would imagine, first of all, we are definitely going to get a lot more serious investment into health preparedness around the world than we would have conceived of 6 months ago. Secondly, in that regard, there are already further focal points going on about accelerating incentives. Sometime before this month is over, I am hopeful of a bill or an amendment to a bill passing through Congress that would actually, if it passed, introduce the market incentive rewards that my review recommended to incentivize pharmaceutical companies to produce new antibiotics. And if that happened, it'd be one of the most positive things that has taken place in the 5 years since I got involved in that review. And then thirdly, there is also a greater awareness from within the pharmaceutical industry itself that they have societal obligations to play more than they have perhaps done in the past, as, by the way, I suspect might be the case more broadly in industry everywhere.